channel. Someone told me that I need to do something with that before someone steals it from me. And I mean, if someone steals it from me, it wouldn't be the alley shuffle anymore, would it? So no one could really steal that from me. Anyway, now that we've gotten more comfortable, let's get into it. Someone said, what is your favorite brand of not scrunch pants? So ironically, I was gonna do another haul to this, but I was like, this feels a bit redundant, and I was just tired of doing hauls for the week. But this is from Navigation. I ordered a bunch of leggings from them. I ordered this style in a few different colorways. I'll link it below. And then I ordered their scrunch butt. So this particular style is not a scrunch butt, and it's actually the one that I prefer, and it is pretty amazing. So I would say these. Ironically, and no bullshit, I'm wearing them, thankfully, because I made this way more ironic. But the point is that I love these, and they're really great. Let's see if I can show. I'll also do an iPhone, but they're really nice. They're very flattering. Can you see the ankle? So they're a bit above the ankle. These are, like I said, Navigation, right? I believe, if I'm incorrect, I will link them correctly below. But ironically, I got their scrunch butt and I didn't like it. It was a bit see-through. It was like close to see-through, too close for comfort for me. So once I actually like a brand's not scrunch better than their scrunch. So I hope that answered your question. Someone said, how do you handle perverted DMs? So I don't handle them. I mean, some of them obviously are blatant and I do catch them, and they're very, I feel like I've been violated in some sort of way, but it makes me mad, but I can't help it. And I just realized that that's part of the world, and that's part of what is out there, and that's what's gonna come with the love. You know, you're gonna get, with the love, you're gonna get hate, and you're also gonna get weirdness. A lot of filthy weirdness, but it's fine because I'm not gonna change who I am to make you feel more comfortable or to pretend. Like, I would be mad like if I had to not be feminine or sensual or enjoy showing my physique. Like, I would feel cheated in life because that is a big part of my brand. Me and Tony were laughing about that the other day because when I was talking about postpartum with my waist kind of like filling out bigger than my hips were, or like close to my hips, and then she was like, you were probably like, it's my brand. And I was like, yeah, bitch, I was like that. I literally was like, my waist is my brand, and there's no way that I could make it without that. But I don't even know how I got to this point. What were they talking about? Oh, how do I handle perverted DMs? How did I go from that to that? That's so weird. How far do you fluctuate between sizes before you begin to panic? That's actually a really good question. So my measurements are probably the same. I don't know, you could watch one of my old Q&A videos. I've talked about it. Something like 34, 27, 45, around that realm. I'm probably off, if anything, by one, if at all. But I'm also 5'8.5", close to 5'9". And then what kind of fluctuation do I have to have before I begin to panic? I would say very little. 6 up here, 12 down here. I'm always gonna be a pear shape. Like, my bottom half is always gonna be, which I find crazy because people like, do you not understand that before the BBL era, there were women who were pear shaped? And can you not tell the difference between a woman that's pear shaped? Some of the women who have had surgery kind of look like a natural pear shape, but for the most part, it's a natural body structure. Like, I'm not even gonna get into it. It's just a natural body structure. But my point is, my bottom half will always be larger, so I always fluctuate that weight. When I start to have to wear 31, then I'm concerned. Then I know that I am slacking, and I mean, those kinds of fluctuations, they come and they're not a surprise because they come from a time frame where I don't work out, or I know that I'm not eating like I normally do with discipline, or I know when I'm gonna fluctuate. So it doesn't come as a surprise, but I definitely do panic. So I like to keep and maintain my weight. And luckily, because of my metabolism, I've been able to do so. Okay, next question. As a former JW, did your fam give you a hard time when you decided to leave? Good question. I've been really thinking about this for the past few weeks, just because like religion for some reason has been a really big topic of conversation for me and people around me. But it was hard. Literally no clue who I just let into my house. So as a former JW, I went through a really rough period, I would say. Not rough, but it kind of set the tone for the way that I interact with my family. My close family, like my house family, like my mom, my dad, my sister, some of my cousins, we remain close. You know, for the most part, like I'm gonna just say specifically my sister and my mom, my dad. We went through a hard period just because the family around us thought that I was crazy. Like my mom thought I was crazy, but more she knew me and she knew my soul and she knew my heart and my intentions. So she didn't really question me. She kind of just like let me flourish, which like my older sister had older sister syndrome, and she was like, you just let her do whatever the hell she wants. You get away with everything. Alyssa's crazy and irresponsible and like da da da. And I'm sure that's like how most people look at me, but I had family that they wanted to do an intervention. Why? I don't know. I think just based on the fact that I was doing the live bikini modeling, and then I was actively and publicly displaying my affections for cannabis, and I was just not under anyone's thumb. Like I'm a sailor mouth, and I was very active on social media. My social media platforms were growing. Even to this day, like it's weird because I know that people from my town in itself like have things to say, which I don't understand what you could say. Like judge someone for what? Making a living off of making social media lucrative? Like it's complicated, but the point is to stick to the point. It was hard, but I think that after a while, unfortunately, I can't speak for the side that would experience like not being successful and having to deal with the decision of leaving the Kingdom Hall. But I made it work. Like my life is a blessing. My daughter is a blessing. Every day I wake up, it's a blessing. Like every single thing in my life is a blessing. And I have hardships, and I have been open and honest about things that I've gone through. And with that said, I just feel like people have eyes, and as ignorant as religion can make you in certain aspects, I feel like they can see that I'm not only happy and healthy, but I'm doing okay. So I do get shit for it, but here I am. So they can't really say shit now, you know what I mean? I don't regret anything. I'm glad I have that, you know, that past, that background. Someone said, any tips on emotional and mental healing? I would say what I'm doing right now, which is just maintenance. I think if you need like deep emotional and mental healing, you need a team, you know, and I still have a team, but I don't really rely on them as heavily as I did when I was like in the bouts of any kind of low self-esteem or negative thoughts. So I say you need a team, meaning like you need to talk to someone, whether it be a friend, whether it be a therapist, whether it be, I don't know, dude. They have so much stuff now that you don't have a reason to not find a way to talk to somebody. You just need to expel that kind of, I had heard this on somebody's YouTube the other day. I'm gonna find him and I'm gonna post him. I find the randomest shit on YouTube, which is another way I handle emotional and mental health. Watch a lot of random crap on YouTube, find random shit you didn't even know you thought was funny, and laugh your ass off. I found this guy, and he does like reactions to old 90s sitcoms, and like one of them in the sitcom, they were talking about like expelling the emotional bowels, and it was hilarious. So my point is you need to expel your emotional bowels, and you need to you need to feel like you're not alone. Because I think feeling like that kind of just like makes things worse and spiral into, I understand what it is to be introverted, and I understand what it is to feel better when you're alone, which I think sometimes is helpful. But I also think it's really important that you have someone you could check into and tell, yo, I'm not okay. I think I like tweeted this when Anthony Bourdain passed away, because I was super affected about it. And I realized that like everybody should have one person that they could tell, because I think most people are like really scared of talking about crazy negative thoughts, because they're scared that people are gonna like worry about their life or, you know, their wellness. But I think everybody should have one person in their life that they could feel confident to tell, like, yo, I'm good. Like, I love my life, but I'm not good today. Like I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling everything. I feel lost. And it's cool to just have someone that would like respect that and be like, yo, I know this person, and I know when they're at a high point, and I know that they're just having a moment, and I know that they just need to express themselves to me. And it's like so important. I make sure to make myself that person to other people. So I think that's one way to go about it. Make sure that you're that for someone else. Like when someone will hit me with an issue, I'm definitely lending an ear. And then tomorrow, if I need to, I read the room. If the next day I need to act like you didn't tell me anything, that's exactly how we're working. Like, I don't know what you told me. I don't remember a thing you said, but I know that I was there for my friend. And I listened to whatever you wanted to say. I said whatever I wanted to say. It was completely confidential. We kept it pushing. The next day is the next day. So I think you should be that for someone else. And that kind of ensures that you'll have that for yourself. Like I always say, do stuff, self-care. Self-care, self-care, self-care. I don't care. It's not selfish, although the word self is in it. In everything. Your hair, your face. Put cream on, put cream on. I'm saying put cream on 7 times because it is like the desert out here and I'm ashy. Alan actually told me not to rub my legs together because I may start a fire the other day. That's how ashy I was. Okay. ¿Hablas español? Sí, claro, hablo español. This is such a funny question. Somebody had told me si quería hacer un video hablando completamente en español en vez de inglés, pero no sé si todavía estoy ahí. Vamos a ver unos videos más y tal vez. Pero I'm Cuban, you heard me? That's the Hudson County in me, pero I'm Cuban, so most people don't know that, but Spanish is my first language. Someone said the most challenging aspect of being a mom who is also a content creator, not somebody. Kay said this. Most challenging aspect, I would say, is a lot of what I think people who began to work from home started to realize was an issue. The boundaries of home life and work life are overly woven, and people don't really respect that. And it's not anything like, you learn, you begin to grow boundaries, but like my family doesn't really understand that. Like I am very lucky, and I don't want to jinx it, knock on airwood. I have not been interrupted right now, but for the most part it's because my daughter's sleeping, but I have so much crap going on that doesn't really give a crap if I have social media content to create. It doesn't, the world doesn't stop, and I have so many adult responsibilities and a family to take care of that it's difficult. But my mental health, let's leave it there. How about that? My mental health, that's how I deal with it, right? So one into the other. It's like, it like funnels into the other, right? Although it creates angst and anxiety, and social media has probably worsened that throughout the years for me, I find that creating content, and that when I was in the depths of my worst mental frame, I was not creating content to not want to create content. And it's no surprise there's a correlation, So I make sure to find time. Like I did my hair last night. That's part of self-care. But I also did it with the idea that I was going to film today. You see what I'm saying? Then I made sure I didn't put lotion on. I should have. I should have, but you know, normally I would put lotion on, especially if I'm doing the haul. That feeds into self-care and also being productive for my video creating. Just little things like that, so that I make sure that the content that I'm creating is not torturous. Like, it's stuff that I want to do. Like, I love buying leggings. I love having new gym clothes. I'm practically wearing gym clothes every single day. So I am being real. Like, this is all fitting together. So basically, be who the hell you are online, so that it's not so much of a job as much as it is just being yourself and filming it. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much it. Make it your self-care. Make it something that's really positive for you. My camera died, so I have to start over. This question was, I have a 7-month-old and I haven't started working out yet. What workouts did you start with? Postpartum, parentheses. The elliptical was my best friend. I initially started with the treadmill and it just busted my knees. Like, within like a month, it literally felt like I had bruised kneecaps as every time my heel hit the floor. So luckily for me, I have an athlete for a partner, and he kind of told me, like, no, what you're doing is like, he just told me that my body and some people just don't work well with treadmills. So I stopped doing that and I started doing the elliptical, and it was therapeutic for me at that time. Like, I think I've spoken about my postpartum and I told you guys how difficult it was. So that was one thing that I really actually did enjoy. I remember having 30 minutes out of every day and just being on the elliptical. I had to take it really easy just because I had the C-section and it was like super high risk, I guess you could say, of a pregnancy towards the end. And it was kind of complicated surgery. So I had to wait a while. Lucky for me, my shape was enough for me to like, I never looked different, especially like online, especially in modeling photos, especially in promo photos. Like, I never looked super different. I now notably look different because I've been working out and I'm slim, but I've always had the same shape. So it was easy to kind of slack for a little while, and I just started doing the elliptical. Then when I got my trainer, I started weight training, you know, and it was hard. It went against everything in me. I didn't want to use 10-pound weights. I didn't want to use 15-pound weights. They were a reminder of how weak I was to me. You know, I didn't want to do that, but having a trainer kind of distracted me, and it helped me just have to focus on the task at hand and completing it. And next thing I know, you know, I lift 40-pound dumbbells with my pinky. I am really proud of myself. Like, the other day I had that moment with my trainer. He wanted me to goblet squat, and he gave me like an 80-pound, and I was like, you're bugging. The most I've ever done is a 65. He's like, you can do it. And I did that shit. I did it. I'm gonna see if I record it in my gym vlog so you guys could see. Someone said gym content. I got you, okay? Got you. I just explained myself, okay? I hope that's okay. Someone said, you're never bloated. How? I definitely am bloated. I just do not get myself on camera when I'm bloated. Like, that's the concept of it. I guess I should. You know, I've thought about it sometimes. I'm like, you know, I should take one of those, like, viral photos of, like, this is me, but this is also me. But, I mean, I think that it's pretty obvious that, like, I don't look perfect all the time. Even in these videos, you can see, like, when I sit down, I have rolls. I am not perfect. And I bloat. And I'm probably bloated right now because I had a little bit of an In-N-Out burger earlier today. I'm not even gonna lie. I've had a really rough 2 weeks, guys. I've been really busy. That's me making excuses, okay? But, and I didn't like OD. I just had one burger, okay? And I'm new here. I think I get a pass. It's like a California pass, because I don't even like it that much. I know, don't roast me for that, but I'm like an East Coast White Castle kind of girl. I know that's nasty. I know that's nasty, and I know, but like, if we're gonna do fast food, like, you know, it's just a thing. It's like genetic. It's like East Coast genetic. I don't know. Someone said, tell us more about your fasting schedule. So when I do come out with my program, which I have considered and finally pretty much decided upon dropping a program for you guys, one that I feel like fits my personal workout regimen and is kind of contradictory to other people's regimens, but it works for me, and I think that it's gonna work for some of you. And I wanted to talk and go into more detail. I want to like even get a doctor, hopefully, that I can have talk about fasting and why it's really great for your gut. But I follow a fasting schedule dependent on how I feel, on how I've been eating, on the things I've been doing. Like I said, I travel a lot, we go out a lot, we eat out often. It's pretty much based off of what's happening at the time in my life. But some weeks I'll fast a whole day, some weeks I won't fast at all, some weeks I can fast 2 days, some days I'll fast intermittent fasting. I just know that I don't personally need a huge meal all the time. That's just me, and I'm not even trying to sound like fucking weird or like trying to give unhealthy habits to people, but it's the truth. Like, I don't need to feel full all the time. We don't need to feel full all the time, and it's not good for me to feel full all the time. And that actually goes hand in hand with the bloating question. When I've been overeating, that's when I bloat. You know what I mean? If I don't, I look like Miss Olympia. Like, I've got the, you know? Someone said, question, be there for my partner when he's trying to lead a more healthy lifestyle, lose weight. I don't like to work out, should I? I want to say, yes, of course, babe. Like, there's not going to be anything that's going to do harm to you by creating a more healthy lifestyle. And that doesn't mean you have to change how you eat. If you're one of those lucky, cute, little petite, sweet, or even thick in just tone naturally, like if you are just naturally genetically gifted and you don't have to do too much to stay in shape, that's you. You don't have to like go crazy with a diet. I would be conscious of your partner, especially if he has to lose a lot or he has to go an extra mile for his weight loss and his fitness journey. Just be conscious of it. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys are out to eat, like, don't order like the chocolate chip pancakes with extra maple syrup and butter and just like douse it in fucking butter. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be more health conscious when you're with him, and then have your little treats to yourself. That's just a empathetic point of view. But I would say yes, because working out, you know, it's not for everybody. You don't have to work out, but there's nothing bad that's going to come of it. Like, your body is going to love it. You're going to love how you look. You're going to love how you feel. It's going to affect you. And it just has a domino effect of a lot of positive things. Like, I really feel like it has affected everything in my life positively. Not just how I look, but my relationships, work aspects, my relationship with my daughter. Like, she emulates me working out. Like, sometimes she'll do things and she'll be like, I'm working out like you, mommy. And she loves being very active. Like, I feel like I've implemented that fitness into her life without even knowing it. Like, her just seeing it as part of my schedule and then its normalcy has given her that little push, and I'm proud of that. So I would say yes. Yes, 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 yes. Definitely join the train. Definitely be a supportive partner. If you love him, listen, be happy. There are a bunch of people that wish that their partner put their physical appearance and their health on a higher tier. So if he's wanting to make that decision on his own, then just be happy. Be happy that you have a partner that's that conscious, you know? Someone said, how did I meet my man? I was in a really weird space in my life at the time, and he was on the team at the time with someone who was cool with one of my close girlfriends. Little did I know, he had already known who I was, and he had seen me online. And it was like a running joke with him and his friends that he was gonna marry me or give me babies. Cute, right? And he manifested this shit, put it to you that way. So if you don't believe in manifestation, men, he manifested me. I promise you 100%, because I was not down for anything. Like, I was averted from love. I was like, ugh, I didn't want to. I wanted to be single. I was just off love. And when I met him, my girlfriend kept insisting. She was like, come on, go out with us. It'll be a group thing, but really, you and I will have fun. You know, we always have fun together. And I really wanted to see her. So I went out, and then seeing him in person and having a real eye-to-eye conversation, I realized he was a substantial thinker. We had a lot more in common than you would consider two very different people to have. We had similar goals and dreams, and it just felt normal. You know, like I felt, I talked about this on the podcast. There was a moment where we had like, it wasn't an awkward silence, but I remember thinking to myself, I can't wait until we know each other so well that this is like normal, that silences are normal. And I thought back to that idea and I was like, isn't that crazy that I was already thinking in the future? I knew that this was gonna come. Like I knew there would be a day. I spoke to myself in my head as though I knew that there would be a day in the future that we would have normalcy in silences. And yeah, it just felt super comfortable. There were like little things like that. Like there was just moments where I felt at peace. And I think that that's the big tell for you. I don't think it should be like you feel like you want to throw up or vomit or you feel anxious or anything. I think that your body's mannerisms and just like your instinct, you know, how comfortable do you feel with them? That's really what it is. It's not like what people talk about in the movies. Like, yeah, your heart's gonna race. Yeah, you're gonna think they're sexy as F. But you're also gonna feel just like super in tune. Like, it's just gonna feel right. I know that sounds corny and I know that's like a typical response, but it's the truth. What's one life lesson you would tell your child? I think I'm gonna leave it there. One life lesson that I would leave my child, I would say that I'm deathly afraid of her loving the way that I do. I'm deathly afraid of her being as sensitive as I am. So I want to instill in her the ability to love, but not the need to feel it reciprocated. Like I don't want her to get used. I don't want her to get taken advantage of. I don't want her to show love to people who don't deserve it. But I want her to be a kind person. And I want her to not need gratification to be that person. I've learned that life is a lot easier like that. Like this one girl, shout out Tori, if you ever see this for some reason, but we were at lunch one day and we were talking about forgiveness and she told me, Allie, forgiveness is for you, you know? It's not for anyone else. So when you let go of those chains of just like feeling regret or feeling like resentment because you weren't shown the same affection or love or respect, you know, it doesn't really do anything for you. So I would just tell her to love, but to not be let down. And I know that that's hard and it's almost impossible and she's going to have times where she's going to feel sad. It's inevitable. But I think that's the thing that I'm going to stick to really, really hard. I'm going to harp on that. I'm just always going to say love, but don't be let down. Listen, at first I was like really on the YouTube comments, but like, you guys, I'm telling you, ladies, I get that you're just watching it and you're privately messaging me and that's cute, but I need you to actually make YouTubes and comment below because right now it only looks like males are watching this shit, I'm telling you. And then I like have this private life with all of you and I feel like you're like my secret affair. So just can you make YouTubes and like interact with me on here so that it doesn't look like I'm talking to myself? Jesus Christ. But this one guy actually asked me some really, really substantial questions. So I'm going to talk about them. I'm only going to pick one or two because he asked like 7. But he said, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like you describe yourself as an introvert, oversensitive, and someone who needs complete isolation at times. How does that dynamic work in a successful relationship? Well worded, Josh Smith, well worded. I would say that it doesn't work. It doesn't work all the time, and it's why there has been friction. And I call it like the sliding door theory. We're Virgos, so we're very similar in temperament, and we like isolation. We like to be left alone. However, it doesn't work in synchronicity. So like when I want to be left alone, he wants to talk about it. When he wants to be left alone, I want to talk about it. So it's interesting, you know, that's why I say the sliding door theory. It works in very various ways. Like if you love someone and they don't show it at that time and then you stop giving them concern and then they start showing you love while you're not really invested in it, and then like it's like, you know what I mean, like you play this game forever. So you kind of just have to be conscious of it, and we've been working really hard, and it comes with adulting and maturity. I think when you care about your partner enough and you care about your home life enough and your peace, when you realize that peace is the most important factor in your household versus like being right or everything always going your way or, you know, different things like that, then you start to notice. But I think it's really important to give credit where credit's due. And I would say that my partner has been very effective in learning my argumentative behaviors and understanding my anxiety and kind of trying to argue better. I don't know if that's like the correct English terminology, but we try to argue more effectively rather than just being irate and saying things out of anger. It's more like, I disagree with you and I don't like this feeling, but how can we come to a conclusion? Like, I don't want to keep doing this. You know what I mean? Like, it comes to that point where it's like you're that old where you just don't want to waste any more of your time talking about the same shit, because a toxic argument can last like 3 fucking days. Trust me, I know. But it takes, it just takes really conscious partner. And if you don't have one, it's not going to work. It's that simple. I'm sorry. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you that if you've had a shitty relationship and you're trying to make it work, if both partners are not as invested, it's not going to work. It's just not. You can't do it. You can't do it alone. It's called a partnership for a reason. He said, what is something about yourself that you hope will change but probably never will? How sensitive I am. I love my sensitivity. I really do. I think that it makes me who I am. I think that people love me for it. But like even the other day, something happened with like my kid where like she is normally not the rough one, you know, but she was like with a baby and she was kind of rough with the baby and the baby got hurt. Not purposely, but like I legit was crying and I was trying not to. Like my eyes were watering and I was just embarrassed because I was like, I'm a mom and I'm supposed to be, you know what I mean? Like my daughter needs me to be strong. So I feel like, especially having children and growing up, I should be able to keep my composure a bit better. Unfortunately, I don't know if that is something that is going to change. I think that I'm, you know, it's just part of the yin yang of being a very empathetic person. You know what I mean? You're going to be sad and you're going to freaking cry in embarrassing moments. Do you prefer people to shoot straight with you or temper their words? Whew, that goes hand in hand with that one, because if someone knows how to speak to me, I think if someone really loves me, they learn me and they learn how to say things to me and stuff. It does affect me if they are coming at me in a kind of disrespectful tone when I know that they could have worded something differently. However, I will say that I love Aries. I'm not going to group people, but every Aries in my life is a super straight shooter and they say things that it's like, ooh, did you just offend me, motherfucker? But it's not, I know that it's not meant to hurt or make anyone upset. So I deal with it, you know what I mean? And for some reason I love Aries, like love them. Like most of the people that I find close to me are Aries, Pisces, Taurus, Virgo. You know what I mean? I guess I answered pretty much everything that he asked, but he just asked so many amazing questions. So the last one he said is, how do you balance your needs versus his needs with such a physically and mentally, I think he meant demanding profession as football? It's been hard, dude. It's been really hard. And I think that every woman in this league would tell you that they find their balance in a different way. There are women who are working women and are completely independent from their men. And there are women who are completely attached to the man. And their whole identity is pretty much being a part of this league. And then there are women like me, somewhere kind of like in the middle where it's like, I don't really find this to be my identity, but it is heavily affecting my everyday life. So I'm proud of it. And I'm super, super grateful to be a part of something that, I mean, I watch 30 for 30s and cry. You know what I mean? I'm fucking stupid sentimental about shit like this. I'm like, I'm cursing a lot, but I just want you guys to understand that like I'm very romantic. You know, Moneyball. I'm romantic about this stuff, so I'm grateful to be a part of it, and I also understand that it's for a little while. You know, I'm appreciative of it, and I'm able to have gratitude because of that. Although I do hate that my birthday always falls on one of the first games. It's either like the day before, the day of, or the day after. So my birthday is always overshadowed. Okay. For once, I just want to get lit with my man just have a good time and not worry about some serious like this. Like, this is so serious. I hope you guys know, like, how serious this is and how it's affecting my birthday. But with that said, I'm gonna calm the fuck down. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I know that I didn't answer every single question. I'm sorry. But you know I love this segment, so I'm definitely gonna come back and I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna hope to not really edit this shit. This is gonna be super fucking long. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. I wanna cut it short because I know this thing is long. But until next time, please be safe, please be kind, please be kind. And I love you. Finito.